Have you ever watched an English video and understand almost everything? You can read English posts, you can understand what your teacher is saying, you may even know hundreds and thousands of English words, but then someone suddenly asks you, "So tell me something about yourself," and suddenly your brain goes blank. You know what you want to say, you know the words, but your mouth says, actually, I mean, and the worst part, you start thinking, maybe my English is bad. But what if I told you that your English probably isn't as bad as you think? The real problem may be something completely different. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it is. And more importantly, what you can do about it. So stay until the end because I'll give you a simple daily practice that can turn your passive English into active English. Let's begin. There are actually two versions of your English. The first is passive English. This is the English you can understand when someone else uses it. For example, someone says, "I'm running late because I missed the bus." You understand the sentence, easy. But now imagine you are late and someone asks, "Why are you late?" Suddenly you start translating in your head. मैं लेट हो गया, बस मिस हो गई, इंग्लिश में कैसे बोलूं? And 5 seconds later, the conversation has moved on. Sound similar? That's because understanding English and producing English are two different skills. Think about it like this: listening is recognizing the road, speaking is actually driving on it. You can know every road in your city from a map, but that doesn't mean you can drive confidently through traffic. And speaking English works the same way. Why you can understand but can't speak? Reason number one: you translate everything. This is one of the biggest reasons Indian learners struggle with speaking English. You think in your native language first, then you translate, then you check your grammar, then you worry about pronunciation, and finally you decide not to speak. That's a lot of traffic for one sentence. Imagine your brain saying, "Follow this process." By the time you reach speak, the conversation is already over. The solution? Start creating simple thoughts directly in English. Instead of thinking, "मुझे पानी चाहिए," then translate it into, "I want water." Train your brain to directly think, "I want water." Start with teeny thoughts: "I'm hungry," "I'm tired," "Where is my phone?" "I need to study," "It's getting late." These sentences may look extremely simple, but simple English spoken automatically is far more useful than complicated English stuck inside your head. And that brings us to the second problem. Reason number two: you are trying to speak perfect English. Here's an uncomfortable truth: perfection is one of the biggest enemies of fluency. Many learners think, "I'll start speaking when my English is perfect." But grammar becomes better through use. Think about a child learning to walk. Does the child say, "First let me study the correct walking techniques"? Of course not. The child stands up, fails, gets up, fails again, and eventually learns. You need to treat English speaking the same way. Make mistake, correct them, speak again. Your goal isn't never make mistakes. Your goal is make fewer mistakes over time. And remember this: a person who speaks imperfect English is already practicing fluency. A person who never speaks is only practicing silence. But there's another hidden problem that could be stopping you. And this one has nothing to do with grammar. Reason number three, you know English, but you don't have speaking practice. Think about your daily English routine. Maybe you watch English videos, you read English captions, you learn vocabulary, you save Instagram posts about English. You even watch videos like this one. But how often do you actually speak out loud? Be honest. 5 minutes, 2 minutes, maybe zero. Here's the problem. Your brain has been trained to consume English, not produce English. It's like watching cricket every day and expecting to become a great batsman without ever holding a bat. Watching helps, reading helps, listening helps, but speaking requires speaking. Simple, right? And now we come to the part that can completely change your practice routine, the 10-minute speaking workout. You don't need to speak English for 3 hours every day. You don't need an expensive course. You don't need to move to an English speaking country. Start with just 10 minutes a day. Here's the method. Describe your life. Look around you and describe what you see. For example, I'm sitting in my room. There is a table in front of me. My phone is on the table. I have to finish my homework today. Don't worry about being impressive. Your goal is to make your brain produce English automatically. Talk about your day. Tell yourself what happened today. I woke up at 7, I had breakfast, then I went to college, I met my friend, we talked about our exams. You're training your brain to connect real experiences with English sentences. Ask yourself questions. Now become your own interviewer. Ask, what did I do today? What do I want to do tomorrow? What is my biggest goal? Then answer is English. This is powerful because real conversation are basically questions and answers. Speak without stopping. Choose one simple topic, your favorite movie, your family, your studies, your dream job, your favorite food, and speak for 1 full minute without stopping. If you don't know a word, don't stop. Explain it differently. For example, you forget the word umbrella. Don't freeze. Say the thing we use when it rains. That is communication. Fluency isn't about knowing every word, it's about knowing how to keep the conversation moving. And here's something important. You may practice for 7 days and think nothing is happening. Don't quit. Your brain is building a new pathway. At first, English will feel slow. Then you'll notice something strange. One day you'll suddenly think an English sentence without translating it. Then you'll understand a sentence faster. Then you'll answer someone a little quicker. And eventually you'll have a conversation and realize, wait, I was just speaking English. That moment is coming, but only if you practice. So, if you understand English but can't speak it, don't tell yourself my English is weak. Tell yourself my speaking muscle needs training. You don't need more embarrassment, you don't need more fear, and you definitely don't need to wait until your English becomes perfect. Start today, speak for 10 minutes, make mistakes, correct yourself, speak again, because confidence doesn't come before speaking. Confidence comes from speaking. And remember, you already know more English than you think. Your job now is to take the English that is sitting quietly inside your brain and train it to come out of your mouth. So, are you ready to stop being an English listener and start becoming an English speaker? Start with your first 10 minutes today, and trust me, your future self will thank you.